Greetings of the day. So today our topic is group discussion. Like why do we have group discussions? Why companies take group discussion and why we are taking up this topic in the communication skills classes. So let's have a look. And the first thing we are going to discuss is what is the objective. Now we are going to look after what is group discussion, what is the difference between a discussion and debate that you should actually know. Why do we have GDs? Why companies basically conduct GDs? What should we know beforehand while going for a GD? What personality traits a candidate or I as a participant in GD should have? How many types of GDs are there? What are the do's and don'ts of GD? How basically GD is structured? What are the connectors we can use as a participant in the GD? What is the ideal body language? And then we'll summarize the topic. Now, what is the what is the difference between a discussion and a debate? Like why we call it as group discussion and why we have debates in the people where the people are for and against. Debate, you would either be winning or you would be losing. Like there would be someone who would be for in the favor of this topic and there would be someone who is against of this topic. But discussion is just putting forth your viewpoint even if it is a controversial topic. Controversial topic means when there is when people actually come to an argument, but here others viewpoints are respected, right? So discussion is basically how I keep my point without hurting the sentiments of others. Now, why do we have GDs basically? It helps the recruiting authority, like the company, to reduce the number of candidates for the further levels. As we have said earlier, that it is the first step before PI. After resume, we have GDs so that in a span of in the mass recruitment, when there are so many people, the amount of candidates are reduced. Next is obviously it would take less time, less effort for me as an evaluator to judge and to filter more number of candidates during the process of evaluation. And it is also checking and judging many aspects, as we have discussed the 10 personality traits that we are checking in the candidates. So it helps me in judging all those. Now, what should we know before going for a discussion? Topics, what kind of topics can we get in the group discussion? We should be planning and we should be prepared for that topic. Above all, everything that is important is knowledge. Do we have the knowledge of the topic? Do I have the communication skills to present my views, right? My ideas. I might know what is this topic about. I might know in what words I have to say, but I am not having that confidence, that appearance, that body language that people are convinced by my point. So these things are basically the prerequisites that we should have beforehand before going for the final discussion. Okay, we have already discussed these personality traits: team player ability, reasoning ability, leadership skills. We should be flexible. Okay, so what do we mean by a point called as flexibility? When we talk about flexibility, we are basically checking, like, if I am in the favor of a topic and somebody has given the points against that topic, we should not be rigid enough to stay at that topic. No, this is only right. We should be accepting that other person's opinion, as we said, respecting other person's opinion if that reason is logical enough, right? Rest is upon you, but if the reason is logical, you should be able to accept that. Assertive. There are three kinds of, you can say, people: passive speakers, aggressive speakers, and assertive speakers. When we talk about passive speakers, they just say yes, I agree. No, I do not agree. Okay, I also go with this point. I also agree with this X person or Y person. Assertive and aggressive ones are, no, I am the only one who is right, right? I only know everything. Assertive one says, I am also right, you are also right, at different viewpoints. Now, out of the box thinking, something that you can bring into the discussion so that it becomes interactive. right? Discussion is always interactive. It just not includes 2 or 3 people. Inspiring abilities, right? Inspiring abilities, when we talk, like, my point is actually able to inspire other people, and I'm listening to what people are also saying. I'm not repeating their points. I am aware of what has been spoken, what I have spoken, what others have spoken, and I'm ready to take the initiatives. So, moving ahead to the types of GDs. How many types of GDs we have? We have basically 3 types of GD. Basically, we divide them as topic-based GDs and case-based GDs. Now, topic-based GDs are argumentative, or I would say political or controversial, any name you want to give them, right? And this is something which triggers yes, no arguments, debates, means this triggers, but that is under your control, how you can control all these things. Next thing we have is factual topic, like based on the facts, opinions, or you can say let's say you would have figures related to those topics. Abstract, completely upon your lateral thinking, your creativity, what do you understand, and how do you link that topic with basically the factual and argumentative topics, right? So we can have an example of argumentative, controversial, or political, or whatever you want to give, a yes or no kind of topic, or debatable kinds of topic, like should older players declare retirement from ODI cricket, or whatever. Say there could be another controversial topic, like women make better managers than men, or we can have factual topic like reservation, right? We can have topics like decreasing value of dollar on Indian exports. What is the impact of the topic? Abstract topics, for example, black. Now, with which things, with which all things you link black with? You may link black with the darkness in your mind, with your with the black hole, or you may connect black with the, let's say, the death of someone in a Christian family, basically, right? You may connect black with something negative in your life, right? So that's how I can link. That is called as abstract. And another kind is case-based GDs. Here, a particular case is given to you. When a particular case is given, what happens in that case is that, like, we already have a bit of solution. Fine, but I just want to know from the young blood, like, if had they been at this place, what kind of solution they would have given to us, right? So case-based GDs are here basically to know, like, how would you, what solution would you render in this case, right? Moving ahead to the structure of GD, we divide the structure of GD into 3 parts. That is initiation, or we call it as introduction, then body of the group discussion, and then summary. So we may start the GD by you can say like, we should know our participants. We can talk about the past of the topic, right? History of the topic. We can follow the keyword approach in the sense, I would say, like, should guns be banned? Now here the keyword is guns, another is ban. Now it means we are talking about whether guns should be banned or not. So we can talk about the history of the guns, we can talk about guns, why this topic has actually come into play, whether it should be banned or not. And then that could be the initiator's role. Now when we are talking, we are in the midst of a GD, we can talk about the current situation, the present scenarios, and we can use approaches like spelt, pop beans, masterpieces approach. Now these approach means we can talk about social point of view, we can talk about political point of view, we can talk about economical point of view, legal point of view, or technological or technical aspect of the topic. Pop beans approach we can use in the abstract kind of GDs, where P means like we can connect that topic or that point with people, with object, with place, with behavior, with a particular event, with a particular action, with nature, and with the society itself. So these are the approaches that we can follow. And if the topic is like you can say related to some management topic, then we can obviously follow 4Ps like product, price, place, and promotion. 4Ps. While concluding the GD, right, we can talk about the positive and the negative aspects that has been discussed in the GD of that particular topic. And you can talk about future, ray of hope, or you can say something you would like to add on as a conclusion, not the point. Please remember, we do not add anything in the conclusion, any extra point. We can just add a ray of hope, or we can show our fear, or we can just recommend. Okay, so already discussed in the entire part that you can be an initiator, but your content and communication skills matter in that case, because you are the starter and you take the GD on a particular track. So never stammer, stutter, or quote wrong facts and figures just because you want to be an initiator, right? And after initiation of the GD has been done, please stay on the facts. If you don't know, quote approximate figures, approximate, and if you don't know about the figures, do not even quote it. Be responsible for putting everything in the right perspective. You should have the in-depth knowledge. While you are in the content or the midst of a GD, you can use quotes, definition, you can put a question, you can be an information seeker because you do not know about the information. You can add to something other person has said by giving a shock statement, by a proverb or a phrase, by and quoting some fact or quoting anecdote or call as short stories or any general statement. Now, when we summarize, I would say like generally GDs do not have conclusion. It is a kind of like how would you conclude an abstract topic? Because whatever the points other people have given is actually relevant. So when all the points are relevant, what would you conclude, right? So when you conclude, when we said that we can give a ray of hope, future recommendation, suggestion, right at the end, we can have that. We can have that solution if that is any problematic topic, right? I mean, this topic is discussing basically about problems. So, but we need to keep it concise, brief, which is elaborate, which is concising the entire discussion that has taken place. No new points, no to only your viewpoint, no to only your viewpoint, no to only one aspect of the GD, right? So it is, I would say, a big no over here. Why? Because when we are stating only our viewpoint, it means I have not heard the second viewpoint, right? When I'm just into one aspect, it means I am not concerned about what other people have said, and that entire five people or six people's points have just flushed down the gutter, which is completely wrong, right? So you should be careful with these things. Make an effective participation. Making an effective participation means appropriate points, original points, right? Obviously you would require content beforehand, so it should be framed in your way. Like you should not have copied the point from internet or something like that, right? Support the points with reasoning, participate actively, listen carefully, have a logical flow. We have coherence and cohesion of ideas, right? It should not be that one idea is coming from the north, another is coming from the south, and one from east and one from west. So if it is trying to come, just try to bring it in a particular flow. Validate with the help of an example. Remember, examples always. If the people have not understood the point, they would definitely understand with the help of an example. That is going to add an element to your point. So quote only accurate statements. We can use connectors like, in my opinion, in my point of view, based on my knowledge, like this, I would like to share my views on this topic. I really appreciate your point. Okay, while differing with the people, we can say perhaps one difference between your point and mine is this. I beg to differ with you. Let me state and figure out what, and I believe that. I strongly believe that, but I have already told, do not say I strongly object. That's, we have always said it too. The perfect body language is when you follow 3 P's in your body language, that is pitch, pace, pause. Modulate with pauses. Your pitch should be high, low as as the requirement of a sentence, or it is a question statement or a shock statement, whatever. Be considerate towards the feelings of other and try to get your turn. Try to speak when somebody has is about to finish the point and has almost finished the point, right? Add to the meaning. And okay, if let's say a fourth person in the GD has just finished the point, right? And I am entering into the group discussion now. I should not be entering into the group discussion in the point of contradicting the second person. It means I have not listened to the third person, the fourth person who has spoken. I am the fifth person who is speaking. So be considered that others has also spoken and I need to add into it, right? Or I need to give my new point if I have, but do not contradict that other person. Do not be a personal attacker. Remember that. Your posture should be upright, right? With your, I would say, shoulders towards back, chest protruding, stomach a bit inside, hands on your thighs, legs at right angles with a eye contact maintained and a smile and a gentle, subtle grin on your face. Demonstrate your involvement through non-verbal gestures. Okay, now, summarizing the entire topic we have discussed, now you have understood the basics of GD, what is GD, what do we require, what are the personality traits being judged over here. Now you can go ahead and practice those skills first of all in the class under the evaluation of your trainer, right? And then you can follow those criterias with your friends on different subjects uh, because of the limited time you would need regular discussion to be on a very good or very high scale of getting selected. Be assertive, saying you enough number of times, so be assertive, be a patient listener, read from the books, from the articles, from internet, read for getting the information or the knowledge about the subject. Use the right language, no jargons, no technical words which other people would be confused after listening to. Be analytical, critically analyze what your point is being stated as. Be grammatically, try to be grammatically as correct as possible so that other people are not confused, and you must be into like speaking the proper sentence, where the sentence is going and what information I want to convey is not a proper idea. So as we have said, communication skills are really important. Have a positive body language. So after everything has been done, so I guess now you guys would be able to discuss on these topics like whether globalization is really necessary, what should we do about our ever increasing population, corruption is the price we are actually paying for democracy, is it true or not, right? Media, something, religion mixing with politics, about multinational companies, your this 2020 farm bills, right? How we can revive the Indian economy, any topic related to COVID-19 pandemic, which has actually shaken the world, right? Is internet curbing your creativity? Such topics. You can refer the books, YouTube's, watch videos, right? As we have, as you have seen that we have inserted 2 videos, so you can go ahead and watch those videos and other videos which are talking about the group discussions during placements or during your, I would say, master's cadre or into the government jobs, while you want to go into the government jobs, right? And read newspaper, get updates, like why we basically want to enhance the communication. Look, when you know about the content, you have confidence because you know, right? And this confidence can actually bring a lot of change in you whenever you are presenting yourself among the audience, among the large number of audience. So more of the people are having glossophobia on a particular reason because they do not know about the topic or they're not comfortable in speaking in English. So if you're not comfortable in speaking in English, start thinking in English and then give up the point. Do not ever think in your language and convert it. This conversion would create time and confusion. So take help of your friends who are the good speakers, your teachers who are always ready to listen to you. The last, thank you for listening patiently.